What if I told you India gave the world the number zero? Not just zero, India shaped how the world thinks. Math, medicine, astronomy, even logic. Long before Europe's Enlightenment, India had its own. This is the untold story of India's intellectual legacy. Around 1500 years ago, Indian mathematicians changed everything. They weren't just solving equations, they were reinventing numbers. In ancient texts like the Bakshali manuscript, a symbol appeared. It wasn't just a placeholder, it was zero. Before India, zero didn't really exist. Romans had no zero, Greeks debated its logic, but India embraced it mathematically and philosophically. Zero wasn't nothing, it was the space for everything. This breakthrough laid the foundation for modern math. From algebra to calculus, it all needs zero, and the world still runs on it. But India didn't stop at zero. They developed decimal systems centuries before Europe. Aryabhata calculated pi to incredible precision. He also proposed that the Earth rotates on its axis. Brahmagupta defined rules for zero and negative numbers. Bhaskara II solved quadratic equations in the 12th century. Indian algebra influenced the Islamic Golden Age. From Baghdad to Spain, Indian math traveled west. Europe's number revolution began with Indian numerals. We call them Arabic numerals, but they're originally Indian. India gave the world a new way to count and to think. Indian science reached far beyond numbers. In 600 BCE, Sushruta performed cataract surgery. He documented over 300 surgical procedures. Sushruta's texts describe anesthesia and sutures. In medicine, India pioneered holistic healing. Ayurveda studied the mind, body, and diet as one. Charaka's writings shaped wellness for millennia. In metallurgy, India crafted rust-resistant iron. The iron pillar of Delhi still stands, unsurpassed. Indian astronomers tracked eclipses and planets. They calculated the solar year with great accuracy. These advances weren't just mystical, they were empirical. India's science blended observation with insight. It left a legacy of innovation rooted in wonder. India didn't keep its knowledge to itself. Through trade routes, ideas traveled with spices and silk. Indian mathematics reached Arabia and beyond. The concept of zero reshaped Islamic mathematics. Arab scholars translated Indian texts into Arabic. Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, built on Indian numbers. From Arabic, they entered Europe during the Renaissance. Zero unlocked modern banking, coding, and computing. Indian medicine influenced Tibetan and Chinese healing. Astronomy texts shaped calendars across Asia. India's legacy became humanity's shared treasure. India's ancient texts were filled with scientific thought. The Sushruta Samhita described surgery 2,000 years ago. It listed over 300 surgical procedures and 120 instruments. Plastic surgery was practiced long before the West. The Charaka Samhita laid foundations for internal medicine. It spoke of digestion, immunity, and mental health. Ayurveda viewed health as balance, not just cure. In metallurgy, India was centuries ahead. The iron pillar of Delhi has stood rust-free for 1,600 years. Ancient smelting techniques amazed British scientists. In astronomy, Aryabhata proposed Earth's rotation. He estimated pi accurately centuries before Europe. Indian calendars were based on precise celestial movements. Texts predicted eclipses using advanced math. These weren't myths, they were observations and logic. Science and spirituality were never separate in India. They move together, seeking truth. Today, India is rising again in science, tech, and innovation. The Mars orbiter mission cost less than a Hollywood movie. It made India the first Asian nation to reach Mars. ISRO is planning missions to the moon and beyond. In medicine, Indian scientists lead vaccine production. During COVID-19, India supplied vaccines to 100+ nations. In AI, India is building its own large language models. Indian researchers are decoding cancer and genetics. In energy, India leads solar and green tech development. Indian startups are building apps for 1 billion people. From digital payments to edtech, made in India, used worldwide. Universities like IISc and IITs produce global talent. Nobel laureates and inventors trace roots to Indian labs. In space, health, and data, India innovates with purpose. Not just copying, but creating. Not just following, but leading. India's renaissance is not a return, it's a leap forward. A leap powered by ancient vision and modern drive. India's rise isn't confined to its borders. Indian-origin CEOs lead global tech giants. Sundar Pichai at Google, Satya Nadella at Microsoft, Arvind Krishna at IBM, Shantanu Narayan at Adobe. These leaders were shaped by Indian values: hard work, humility, and hunger for learning. Across the world, Indian engineers build the digital future. From Silicon Valley to Singapore, they innovate and lead. The Indian diaspora is 30 million strong and growing. They carry India's story wherever they go. It's not just a brain drain, it's a brain network. A global generation building with purpose. The story of India in tech is still being written. New founders, new ideas, new revolutions. From AI to clean energy to space tech, India is not following, it's leading. The world should pay attention because this is just the beginning.